Hey guys, Deathletter Magic here, and it's time for the much-awaited sequel to the weirdest arena usernames that me and my Discord members have seen. Let's just jump right into it. We've got, first up, the patron saint of making shapeshifters go away. It's Saint Ridiculous. That's a Harry Potter reference. Next up, oh yes, I saw this one the same day I made the last video and was kind of mad that I didn't include it. But it was already uploaded and published. But yes, it's Tony Hawk Pro Wizard. I assume that's the Magic Historian's username on Arena. By the way, you guys ever seen Tony Hawk Potater? Anyway, next up we've got Biomex, which I assume is the end boss of some kind of Mexican-themed video game or something. Actually, it just kind of sounds like a pharmaceutical company. I don't know what's going on here. Next up, we've got a person. I mean, I keep seeing these one-word simplistic ones that make no sense. It's like they just set a dictionary on random and said, let's go with that, and then didn't even capitalize it. I'll take this over them any day. This is generic, but like, that's the point. Next up, we've got Napoleon Stony Parts. You know, people asked me in the last video, how did they fit a space in their username, implying that that wasn't allowed somehow? I don't know. I mean, that does indeed look like a space. I'm still stuck on how they got this many letters to fit. I don't actually know what the limit is, but I would have thought shorter than that. Next up, FedEx00. Why would you choose this as your username? And let me just add a little something to that. I used to work for FedEx, so now let me really ask, why would you choose that as your username? Next up, when they ask you what your username is, and you just answer don't care, and then they take it. And then you just go with it. All the way to platinum. Next up, Dr. Gross Balls, I guess it's supposed to be. It's probably one of those funny names you use when you want to not use a real name. Like, I don't mean like cool ones like Rusty Shackleford, you know, from King of the Hill. I mean like Seymour Butts or something, you know, one of the dumb classics. Anyway, next up, we've got Kickin' Wing, which I assume is like a chicken wing with extra spiciness added. People who eat spicy foods on purpose have a mental disorder. Next up, we got the short version of Sirius Black from Harry Potter. This might even be a Slothface reference. That meme is an antique, but luckily I'm a meme historian. I've also been accused of being a meme necromancer. Next up, we've got apparently Kickin' Wing again. I guess I saw him twice and didn't realize it. Then we've got No Par King 025. So that's a thing they went with. As much as it's like supposed to be phonetic, I'd like to think that they just spelled Mopar wrong. Next up, we got Thar. What's your username? Oh, it's not Thar. And then, of course, we've got Funny Dude. Those of you who saw one of my recent live streams know what I did with that username. We may have suspected him of stream sniping, so I did something about it. But anyway, next up, we've got Colonel Molotov. Now, come on, is that not just like the coolest, like old school Red Alert 2 RTS username ever? I've got to say, people who get their online handles from, you know, 1990s video games, especially RTS games, especially specifically Red Alert 2, they are among the classiest, most intelligent people on the entire internet. Now, there wasn't actually a Colonel Molotov in the game. I'm just, you know, I'm feeling like with Crazy Ivan and stuff, they could have had it. You know, I'm just saying. Next up, we've got, no, the other noise. I'd say that it's just weird and like I don't get it and it's probably an in-joke, but I don't know, it's probably a reference from some movie or something. You guys always explain these in the comment section to everybody who doesn't get them. Next up, Lieutenant Snuggie. If you don't remember, a Snuggie was actually like this dumb blanket thing for cold middle-aged women to sit on the couch and watch Netflix with, although I think it predates Netflix. Actually, I think technically Netflix was founded in like 97, but still. I mean real Netflix, the one that it's become now, that you should immediately cancel because they're a bunch of pedophiles and douchebags. Come to think of it, I think I didn't have time to screenshot it, but I thought I saw somebody with their username was actually Netflix. Questionable legality there, but okay. But yeah, shout out to Lieutenant Snuggie, the military version of the Snuggie, I assume. I actually feel like this might have been a slight College Humor reference. I mean, I get obscure meme references from 20 years ago, okay? Sometimes. But as they say in the IT crowd, everybody got the blind spots. Next up, we just got Moo. I mean, just what sound is a comic, Moo? What more is there to say? I support my cattle brethren as a proud Wisconsinite. Next up, we got Hedgehog, and then strangely underscore, because I guess we couldn't all figure out how to put a space in our usernames, and then Confetti. I don't know why Hedgehog Confetti is so hilarious. I don't know what it is. It just sounded funny. And hedgehogs are adorable. I'm still waiting for somebody to have the username Pointe Little Kitty, which is the Latin name for the hedgehog species. according to the meme world. Next up, you guys know that I'm an enthusiast of sneaking things past filters. We've just got this. Now, I could have sworn that Tyler Durden was one of those, like, YouTube serial killers or, like, one of them stalker creepy people who, like, got arrested, one of them animal abusers or something. No, apparently it's just the dude from Fight Club. I wasn't that far off. He definitely was nuts. Spoiler alert for, like, a 30-year-old movie, but respect for getting this many, I guess, technically Unicode supported in the short version, I think, characters in there. This guy might have some like OG DOS knowledge from back in the day to know that those would be accepted and others may not. But then again, I feel like you could type just about anything into it because I've seen like Japanese, Korean, and Chinese characters in the game as people's usernames. So I don't think they went with the tight version of Unicode. Next up, we've got quite possibly my favorite, and once again, he put spaces in there, it would appear. I mean, I don't know. Don't ask me how they did it. Big C, aka your daddy. And then I assume, like, that probably is the character limit because there's no space between your and daddy. But, you know, shout out for using the correct your. Yes, he may have actually thought that it's UR, but then spelled it the short version because of the character limit. But people usually go the other direction with that. By the way, everybody on the internet collectively, can we just seriously just learn how to spell? And secondly, technically, it's supposed to be pronounced you were. The contraction form is you are, so you were, as in like Y-E-W-E-R, is how you're supposed to pronounce that. So they aren't even phonetically identical. Next up, we've got a bunch of kids. It's not that silly of a username, but I'm just like imagining what this could be. Like I'm imagining the user being multiple people, and then I just went straight to .hackville, as I commonly do, because .hack is like one of the best animes ever. Well, .hack signed, and then there was GU, and then there was the games, and like it's a whole thing. It's like Sword Art Online, except one, good, and two, it came out first. Just saying. But anyway, on I think one of the bonus DVDs, but not like Liminality. Like I think it was one of the anime bonus DVDs, probably for Sign, if I'm not mistaken, because that would explain why I've seen it. They had a famous like old school, like during the beta or right after it, MMO user that was actually like 3 girls, and when they graduated high school, they like agreed to delete the character or something. Something like that. So they all shared it, and that's why they were so high level, because they like took turns leveling it. It was almost played like 24/7 during the summer. And so she was like ultra famous, and then she cast a spell that like took out an enemy but turned herself into crystal or something, and then was left in the game as a permanent statue, which is like the coolest shit ever. So obviously this person has the exact same backstory. In my completely imaginatory, as they call it, headcanon. Oh, and also, they're a bunch of kids. They're all like a bunch of 12-year-olds all sharing the account, which, like, I doubt it, but that actually would be pretty funny. Although, did you ever notice that kids very rarely refer to themselves as kids? Because pretty much all adults just use the term, like, negatively. I always found that funny. Next up, we just got tomato. Okay, I just started seeing just individual lowercase single word foods, and I stopped screenshotting them, so I was going to just name some off the top of my memory, but I don't honestly remember. I think one was maybe carrot also, which I thought was odd. I think I saw cookie, but that could be like a nickname. Like, what is with this? Who are these people? But I do like tomatoes. It's among my favorite thing to grow in the garden. I think only exceeded by strawberries. Next up, like, here we go again, just today. The person's username was just the word today. I mean, I'm Mr. You Do You, whatever makes you happy. Name something after whatever you want. Doesn't have to impress other people, but like, this is inherently a stupid username. I gotta say it. What could this possibly mean? What deeper meaning does the word today mean to you? Why did you pick this? I want to think that their name is Toby and they just spelled it wrong. I don't know what's going on here. Well, dyslexic Toby, your username is stupid and you should feel bad. Hey, you know what's even better than weird arena usernames though? This video's sponsor, Into the AM. They make some ultra dank t-shirts, very, very high quality and amazingly comfortable. Some of the absolute newest designs are up on the screen, and my gosh, do I love them. Plus, my #1 favorite, Impact, is back in stock. I wore this just catching Pokemon, and 3 separate people said, hey, nice shirt. Oh, and by the way, I've got the greatest story ever. Okay, so I went to a really far away Facebook Marketplace pickup, I guess you would say, although I was the seller. And we both showed up Into the AM shirts. They weren't quite matching, but they were close. And as soon as we caught on, we're like, wait a minute. So yeah, to say they're popular would be an understatement, but they got great prices, great quality, really nice printing. They are miles ahead of Teespring. Yeah, I said it. And not only do they have a 3 graphic tees for $60 deal, but you can get an additional 10% off your entire order if you use the code DESTHREADS. That's DES Threads, or use my link in the description. I think that applies it automatically, but do double check at checkout. You get free shipping above $75, and for $15 a month, you can get 1 t-shirt shipped to you per month. That's crazy. They've also got like some clearance last chance deals for like old models and like, you know, funny sizes and stuff, which I saved some money there. But yeah, I've swapped out a lot of my wardrobe with this new stuff, and boy, I look a lot better. So check them out, link in the description. Let's get back to some crazy arena usernames. Next up, we have got the winner of the video, Roof Korean. If you don't know the legend of the legendary Roof Koreans, you have to immediately go type that into the search on YouTube. I bet you it'll be the first result. Ultra mega top tier shout out and much respect to the OG Roof Koreans. They are the epitome of come take it mixed with not my store, bitch. Next up we got Bucktooth Snake 2. I just love that they threw a 2 on there. I think a lot of these are kind of ironic, or they're a joke, or they're like a reference or whatever, or they just sound funny. I think the joke being portrayed here is like they put a 2 on there to imply that like, well, not 1, but like the original was already taken, and then you like immediately go to who would have taken that username? But then like that's the joke. And if you're about to say I'm reading too much into these, yeah, that's kind of the video. That's kind of the point. We're just having fun with this. My God, it's not serious. I'm not actually reviewing usernames. Some of y'all in the comment section need to calm the hell down. Next up, we got Fat Dabs 420. Dab on the haters. By the way, this guy played so incredibly slow, which that's actually hilarious. Next up, we've got X Raging Koala X, going back to the 90s where everything had to have an X in it. Now, clearly, this person was not cool enough to have X and then capital X and then underscore, possibly an upright bar character. I forget, it was separator? What do you call that? And then another underscore and then their username and then the same thing in reverse, which that's like you've basically at that point projected to everyone that you're such an elite gamer that you've turned your username into like a trophy, like a cascading pyramid trophy. That's how people knew in the 90s that you were an absolute mad lad baller pimp / MLG pro gamer. Now all the dumb zoomers just put FaZe in their name because they're such role models, because they're not just partying, drug abusing, racist, sexist, lying, cheating, crypto scamming pieces of human garbage. And honestly, if Joe Biden just came out tomorrow and said, okay, we really messed up Afghanistan, but we are officially defining FaZe Clan as a criminal group, as like kind of like what they did to the Insane Clown Posse, if I'm not mistaken. They just, and the KKK, they marked them both as like criminal gangs. I don't know what that did. They can't just walk up and be like, you're wearing those clothes and arrest people, but I think it was symbolic. But can we get that title for FaZe? Can we do that? The hell is this video even about? Oh yeah, Raging Koalas, of course, obviously. By the way, sorry for absolutely stomping the living shit out of you on like turn 5 in that draft. Next up, we got Avocado Fanboy, probably from California or specifically Seattle. I heard they're into that there. I kind of like avocados. Hey, fun fact about avocados, by the way, because this is an educational video after all. So on the planet, you got all these different species and stuff. Okay, we got humans and you got like one other, okay? Everybody else, avocados are deadly toxic poison. And I think the other one is like weird. It's not like dogs or like monkeys or something that you would like actually expect. It's like dolphins or I don't even know. Like I don't know where a dolphin would get an avocado, but there's basically only 2 animals that I know of and that science has identified that can eat an avocado without dying or pronounce avocado. I'm leaving it in. I'm pretty sure I just said avocado, but too bad. And then like to everything else, it's like a horrific life-ending poison, just like Seattle's culture, which there's got to be a connection there. Next up, we don't have eBay, but we got your Chinese knockoff eBag. I had to know if this existed, so I typed it into Google, and the first thing they said after saying, did you mean eBay, was ebags.com, durable and innovative luggage business cases and backpacks. Now, some of them have like batteries in them, so you can charge your phone and stuff. That's the E part, so that's wonderful, not sponsored or anything. In fact, I assume they wouldn't want me saying, oh, what a wonderful idea to put a big honking lithium battery in it, so that when the airport staff chucks it 50 feet onto a conveyor belt, it ruptures the cells, and then your luggage goes up in a flaming geyser from hell. But anyway, this person's username is eBay for some reason. Cue everyone in the comments saying, oh, in Istanbul, Ebog is a really common name. Next up, you might have heard of Geralt the Witcher, but have you heard of his Italian cousin, Bucco the Witcher? I don't know why I found this so funny. Honestly, it's probably the person's name, and they probably are Italian. But anyway, I just wanted to raise Witcher awareness. There are other Witchers out there than one you've heard of, okay? They might not be as famous, but you gotta appreciate them just the same. They're out there doing God's work, killing all the, with everything. You got money, they'll kill it, but, you know, it probably had to go. Next up, okay, honestly, I found this one interesting because I think that's jam. Like, there wouldn't be an uppercase I, and I don't think we're looking at a layering issue because of the PNG transparency layer that shows through to the background, obviously on the symbol. I'm going to hear about this one in the comments. Fine. Unity-based alpha data pixel layer thing. That isn't necessarily PNG. Anyway, so I'm not sure that this says jam, but assuming it does, I'm going to go out on an even further limb and say that it's a Reno 911 reference where they were talking about just jam. Because get it? It's jam with nothing else. It's just jam. I feel like they would have made their username literally the phrase just jam, but that just sounds like a generic knockoff or some kind of Chinese ripoff of Just Dance. So I don't know if this person likes jam. I don't know if their name is Jam. I think that's an Indian name and I think I'm saying it wrong. I don't know if they just like to jam. Maybe they're in a band. This is one of those deep unsolved mysteries that we will never know about until somebody lies in the comment section, claims to be them, and explains it. Next up, we've got Tiamat, and you got so close there, but that's not how you spell it. I was trying to find some kind of joke reference here, or some like irony or some... I think they just spelled Tiamat wrong. I will say though, there is a band called that. But on the flip side, there's a band called everything pretty much at this point. In fact, there's probably a band called literally everything at this, or whatever the I just said. I'm really tired. You get the joke. Next up, we got Play With Me, which by the way has the mystery spaces again. Have you guys just actually tried putting a space in? I got so many comments about how did they put a space in there? Did you try? But also, this person is an asshole, a butthurt little slow-playing bitch who doesn't like it when you swing things into your favor. Oh, I played Ancient Green Ward, and let's go cry about it and time him out. Get a life, you absolute douchebag. And also, no, I don't want to play with you. Oh, and also, everybody go listen to Play With Me by Extreme or whoever made it. If you type Play With Me into YouTube, it actually just gives you kids' results. Good luck finding it. And finally, we've got I Went to Magic Camp. Well, good for you, Harry Potter. Actually, would it be like discount Harry Potter? Like literally, not even like, oh, it's a ripoff of Harry Potter. I mean, like, you gotta have some money to attend Hogwarts, right? So if you just went to Magic Camp because your parents couldn't afford it and then they, you know, just kind of homeschooled you, you know. It's literally discount Harry Potter. By the way, Harry Potter was pretty damn rich in the books. So that is it. Holy cow, this was a lot longer than the last one, but, well, I got a lot of contributions. Took quite a few of these myself, of course, too, but hey, if you're on my Discord, which everybody's like, how do I get into your Discord, Patreon? I like literally like don't even use my Patreon because it's just all on Discord. So I tell everybody like don't join my Patreon if you don't use Discord because it's not very active, just saying. But the only way to get into my Discord is to either be another giant MTG creator or to support me on Patreon. And it's all automatic. The bot invites you and it's great. So I just thought I'd mention because people always ask because I almost never mention it too. So if you want to check that out, link in the description. Otherwise, thanks for coming out for another great video where we pretty much just make fun of people's dumb usernames or praise them for their funny usernames or something in between. So check out Into the AM with my link in the description and I'll see you guys next video.